5th, 2026. Happy New Year. We are glad to be back. We've been off now for about 10 days or so. And, you know, there was the urge to come back to the news desk several times, but I kept saying, nope, not going to do it.
Amen, and welcome back to another episode of Live Up to Freedom. Thanks so much for joining me in this very first episode of 2026. Happy New Year. I hope you all had a safe and wonderful New Year Eve, New Year Day, and your year started better than mine did. Okay, that's not fair. This uprising started before the New Year's Eve, but I kind of didn't feel the jump into 2026, which is okay. I am so glad to be back on air. Originally, we were going to be off air for 2 weeks, which basically 23rd of December was the last day, and the 5th of January was to come back. And I thought that's kind of good. I can catch up with a lot of work, you know, finalize a few things. But I'll be honest with you, I did miss you guys. So I'm glad to be back. I know many of you very kindly send messages saying that you can't wait for all of us at Worldview Tube to come back on air, specifically myself and Brannon House, because of everything that's going on. So here I am on my show, and some of you asked if I'm going to be immediately jumping on with Brannon to give you updates on Iran. That the answer is yes. I will join Brannon House live tonight to give you updates and talk to Brannon. We're going to share everything we have. So we're live, as always, on worldviewtube.com, worldviewtube, Rumble, and X account. We're on X, America News on X. We're also live on my channels on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Substack, and I think that is where we're at. Wherever you are watching us, make sure to share this video because there's a lot that's going to be said on this video, and I guarantee you most likely have not heard them anywhere else unless you are following my Substack and Facebook, where I have been posting like a maniac. And I want to say thank you to those of you who have been sharing, commenting, liking, posting everything from my Facebook and Substack. Your help has been very, very helpful. If you have any comments, any questions, specifically today, the only thing I'm going to address, to be specific, is Iran and its uprising. I know you have questions about other areas, but just bear with me today. I address those tomorrow, Lord willing. But if you have questions, concerns, if you heard something that you want me to verify or tell you it's fake news, put them on the comment section of whatever platform you are joining us, and I will look at comment sections, and I promise you I'm going to do my very best to dedicate as much time as I can to the comments, because I did say today will be Q&A, because I know a lot of you had questions. And a lot of you put your questions in the comments of all the posts I've been making, but trust me, it is so hard to catch up with comments. And on top of that, it is exhausting to look at the comments because, as I posted on my Facebook, there is, I mean, you know what happens when you come out and start reporting the truth about what's happening in Iran. Their goons come and attack your pages. So for sake of my sanity, I didn't look at comments much. So now would be a great time to ask those questions again. Okay, for those of you who might have completely unplugged from social media and internet and news and all of that, I envy you, but if you did. On Saturday night, December 27th, around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which would have been Sunday morning, Iran time, the specific areas in Tehran, the store owners or shop owners, business owners went on a strike, meaning they went to their stores, but they didn't open up. They stood in front of their stores as it was closed, and they refused to open their stores or their businesses for that matter. Originally, the statement was, in a country that its currency it's less than worthless. There is no purpose of opening up my store, or my shop, or my business. Now, what did happen Sunday morning, Iran time, just bear with me as time zone will get in the way, but just go with it. That's all right. Sunday morning, Iran time, people woke up to their currency literally down to nothing. For every single 2 months, well, technically, currency of Iran is real, but for the people who don't know, they use the term 2 month, which is 1 0 less than the currency. Don't ask me why, I have no idea. That's just the way it has always been. For every single every single dollar in Iran, that morning it turned into $1 for 124,000 2 months. That's where the currency was at. So they did the strike, they shut down. Within hours, people who are not business owners or store owners, shop owners, joined them peacefully in the bazaar or the market in Tehran, and they started chanting. The original chant was for everybody to shut down their stores. They called for Tehran to go on a strike. And by afternoon of Sunday Iran time, it has spread into other provinces. By Monday morning Iran time, chants changed immediately. People weren't just the store owners or business owners anymore. They were the young people. Many of them out there who were out there during 2022 Mahsa Amini Woman Life Freedom Uprising. And the chants changed to death to dictator. And many other chants. By day 3, now, by the way, as I speak to you, we just concluded day 9 in Iran. I know it's still early afternoon here, but it's past midnight in Iran, so it's stepping into day 10. By day 3, as always, IRGC besieged morality police stations to start storming streets. So the chants changed again. What has started as a strike went into a full-on uprising against the regime. By day 5, it became officially a revolution. The chants are including, death to dictator, down with Islamic regime, no more Sharia, death to Khamenei, long live the king, being King Pahlavi, Reza Pahlavi, the late king of Iran. But on day 5, things got very interesting because a new chant was added. It won't rhyme as good as it does in Farsi, but the chant went as Khamenei, which is the supreme leader, sob as much as you want, Pahlavi is coming back. It's by far the first time that people of Iran actually chanted the return of Pahlavi. Who's Pahlavi, for those of you who may not know? Crown Prince Pahlavi, the son of the late Shah of Iran, who has never been decrowned. So even by lame international laws of UN, he is still Crown Prince Pahlavi. Even leftists refer to him as Crown Prince Pahlavi. People of Iran started calling for his return. There's a lot that we get into the details next couple of segments on, as I said, on Brown House Live tonight, but I want to give you a general picture. As I speak to you right now, I have probably in last, what is now 10 days, I have sorted through a good 2,500 videos. I've sorted through thousands of posts, images, messages, direct messages to myself, phone calls, audio files. That's been my last 10 days sorting through. And every time something like this happens, it is my duty to do it. So this is not me complaining. This is me informing you that I have filtered through so much to post what I have posted. I have narrowed things down, only posting videos that would be more clear for American audience or Western audience, those that are more impactful. The reason I'm saying this is someone asked me yesterday via a private message that, is the uprising dying down? I was like, no, why would you say this? Like, well, there aren't that many videos you posting. I was like, One, I'm just one person. There's so much I can sort through, translate, verify in a day. Secondly, I'm filtering through it. I don't want to overwhelm people with videos they don't understand, with videos they can't connect the dots to. So Uprising is not dying down. They're actually stepping in day 10 pretty strong. But there's a major difference this time. For those of you who have been committed to following the situation in Iran, either if it came to your radar in 2009 of Green Movement, if it was the 2018, if it was the 2019, if it was the 2021, whichever one, if you have watched it, you notice a huge difference. First and most important part, this is the first time that Iranian people, not 100% of them, majority of Iranian people have chosen a leader for this revolution. Yes, as I said, there were chants starting 2018. 2018 is the first time that people of Iran chanted death to Khamenei, long live the king, Pahlavi, the late king. But the actual returning of Pahlavi has not happened. On top of that, Prince Pahlavi himself is releasing daily videos in Farsi, giving certain, let's say, words of encouragement. And next day, you see those words of encouragement happening on the streets of Iran. So they have finally come to realize, after 47 years, next month we're going to step into 47th year of this regime, they have come to realize after 47 years, we need a leader. We need to follow someone who has a plan, or we're just going to end up with every other time when the young are killed, arrested, put in prison, disappear, whatever, and things go back to where they were. On that note, this morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, I released the Substack. I felt like this is it. This is the time to do it. Especially because when I hear, and I don't take it personal, but I hear from people, who say, people of Iran have been on the streets for a decade, trying to do this, something it's just from 2022. I figured I should give a history of Iranian people versus the regime. I strongly suggest you read it. It looks fairly long, but it is not. It looks long because I've included images, conversations. It's broken into smaller sentencing. However, here's the beauty of it. Number one, when I was done writing it myself, I felt so much calmer than I did before writing it. But in that Substack, you can find the history of Iranian people uprising against the regime. And some of you might be shocked to know that it starts, the very first in the history start, only 2 months after this regime took power in Iran. Only 2 months. They took power February 1979, early February 1979. End of March 1979 was the first uprising with thousands of Iranians on the street, 90% of them Iranians, women. And that was the first time, actually, people of Iran tried to push against mandatory hijab. Fascinating, I think, because a lot of people are like, took them so long until 2022, until Mahsa was killed. The truth of the matter is they started pushing back against mandatory hijab before internet existed, before people could know about it. Anyhow, head over to my Substack, read that. It will give you a better idea of maybe why I'm sitting here so calm and partially happy with what's happening in Iran, unlike any other time. We need to take our first ad break, guys. When we come back, I will conclude on this thought. I will read some of your comments, and then we're going to continue the discussion. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Life is too short to spend a single moment spinning in laundry worries. Take a load off your mind with the all-new Norwex Powerzyme laundry detergent. This natural detergent harnesses the power of enzymes and plant-based surfactants to leave fabrics fresh and clean without fillers, brighteners, synthetic fragrances, bleach, or harsh chemicals. So go ahead, have your cake and eat it too. More than ever, stressful stains have met their match. Powerzyme's fast-acting enzymes break down organic substances while natural surfactants loosen locked-in dirt and oil, removing residue, stains, and odors with ease. With 91% bio-based ingredients, this dermatologist-tested hypoallergenic formula is suitable for sensitive skin types and delivers a safe and effective clean that won't harm you or the planet's waterways. Less time spent worrying about laundry means you can focus on what truly matters. Norwex Powerzyme Laundry Detergent. Discover the power of nature and load up on confidence.
Welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. I need to reset my mind while reporting in last 10 days. I have basically avoided any plugging of my sponsors or affiliates or anything. So yes, head over to cyruswellness.com, cyruswellness.com. I have talked about them before our holiday break, but I have switched over. It's about a 6 month now. I will pretty much put up my name on it, and I'm very picky when it comes to my product, from facial to makeup to cleaning, all of that, but they're pretty amazing. And this isn't me asking you to do anything extra. It's shifting, right? Whatever you use as your product of cleaning, hygiene, just try them, and then if you're as happy as I am, just switch over, and most likely you're going to save a lot of money, because I did just on makeup remover product. I have saved about $130 in last 3 months, which is about $40 a month. CyrusWellness.com is where you can pick up some really good chemical-free, 100% chemical-free, amazing product and support what I do here as well. As promised, let's head over to some of the comments. Lori, it is good to see you. Happy New Year to you as well. And I know, can't wait to see you on Brandon. Seems like forever. It does feel like, at least for me, it feels like forever. I'm excited to go back on his show as well. Dawn says, I have been reading your daily updates on Iran. Great reporting, Annie. I appreciate all the work you do. Too bad most Americans have no clue what is happening there. I appreciate your support, Dawn. I appreciate you. I have seen you commenting, restacking, and liking them. I appreciate that. It does help me for sure. And yes, we will talk to Americans until I'm back on air. As I said, my reporting has been going on, but there's a difference when you're on air. So hopefully Americans will pick up, at least our side of Americans will pick up on what is happening and the importance of it. Annie, do you think the Supreme Leader and the IRGC will give up and roll over and let someone else take over? Won't there be a lot of bloodshed among the people of Iran? Lori is asking that. Do I think IRGC and Supreme Leader are going to give up? Absolutely not. Let me address the secondary question that's been coming. Times apparently put out a report saying the Supreme Leader has a plan to escape to Moscow if protests continue. When it was sent to me, my immediate reaction was no. First of all, if Khamenei ever decides to escape, Russia won't be where he's going to go. Keep your eyes on Iraq. That's where he has way more allies with way less possibility of being handed over. Secondly, these mullahs, these terrorists, these tyrants, they don't go that easily. They don't. Look at history. A lot less power greedy than Khamenei you see in history and what happened to them. Remember Gaddafi? I mean, there's Saddam Hussein. There's Assad. We can go on and on. IRGC, absolutely not. If you remember, even during 12 Days War, Khamenei handed over power to IRGC. That's what happened on day 4 of 12 days. So the answer is no, they're not going to hand over power and just walk away on their own. That's not going to happen. First of all, they know what awaits them if they do that. Secondly, they have a mission in way of Allah that needs to be completed. However, as far as the bloodshed, that all depends. There are too many factors, way too many factors for me to just say yes or no, which we will dive into that in a minute. Jeff says, I'm wondering what the U.S. and President Trump might be able to do to help Iranians and protesters. Also, has President Trump been given enough public vocal support for Iranians? Jeff, I'm so glad you asked that. I was going to go there a little later, but let me go there right now. Before going on air, I never finished posting it, so I'm going to break it on air first and then post it later. But even Prince Pahlavi himself on an interview said, there is absolutely no need for U.S. military to take any actions. This is a response to Trump saying, if the regime keeps killing people, which is their pattern, we're going to send our military in there. Even Prince Pahlavi said this is something that needs to, play out on its own. And I 100% back Prince Pahlavi on that statement. What could Trump or U.S. do? Let's start with people. People in U.S. or any Western country, the biggest help you can give people, believe it or not, number one, keep them in your prayers, not only when you see a video, but genuinely keep them in your prayers. Secondly, be their voice. If you have a reliable source like myself, yes, I am calling myself a very reliable source these days. When I post something or your reliable source posts something, spread it everywhere. Share it 5 times, different times of the day on your page. When the algorithm picks up the Iran uprising and what is happening, believe it or not, you are helping us put pressure on the regime to not be able to do what they did in 2018, for example, or worse, in 2019. So be their voice by using your platform, how small or big, doesn't matter. Share the information you receive. Now, I will repeat, reliable sources, because there is so much fake news happening. It is not even funny. Find reliable sources, share their information in whatever, even if they wrote in Farsi, share it. That's all right. The point is, the more eyes on Iran's regime, the more they will have to figure a different way out. For example, this morning, well, not last night, our time, Khamenei comes out and say, let's negotiate. Now he wants to negotiate with leaders of the protest in Iran because he's feeling the pressure. He's feeling the pressure from so many different ends. So he's willing to negotiate, not that Iranian people are going to negotiate. And I need to break this. Somebody said, apparently somebody's reporting that people accepted to negotiate. That's fake news. That is not happening. The chant was actually, we didn't, how do I translate that to Farsi? Our kids didn't die for us to negotiate with you. That's basically the response. But best thing Americans or Westerners can do is be their voice. Now let's step into government. Not just America, but any government. There are 2 steps to take, and that's all we need. Number 1, put all the possible pressure on Iran's regime through sanctions. Cut them off. Cut them completely off. No negotiation, no warning, no let's see where it goes. Cut them off. Second step, like the 17 European countries and Israel have done already, for those who haven't, like America, get behind Prince Pahlavi. Now there is a public proof that by majority, Iranians have picked their transitional government, at least. The transitional government has been picked. Respect their wish, get behind Pahlavi. He has provided everybody with a 100-day plan. And I want to be very clear. I'm not saying this because I personally support Crown Prince Pahlavi. I'm saying this because this is the right way to handle this. Don't get involved. Don't go bombing Iran. People are on the street. Don't do it. You want to help this natural, organic revolution to succeed? Support the man that has been named by thousands chanting on the streets of Iran, and more thousands Iranians outside of Iran chanting his name. Respect our choice and back him up. Those are the 2 actions. That's all. When and if the people of Iran call for anybody's military to come in, sure. Until then, let them do their thing. They have a plan. This time there is a plan. They have a leader who is giving call to action every morning. They got this. Don't get involved. neither saving the regime nor going bombing the country, neither one. As Netanyahu announced this morning, we are not preparing for a military attack on Iran. Bibi got it. They're helping us in a very different way. If you are an expert, if you watch over 2,000 videos like I have, you can see that Israel's already helping Iranian people. They are. We don't have that option as America. So our option is to respect them, put all the possible pressure, cut off the regime instead of telling them, do this instead of that, or offering them any extra oxygen like we did during the 12 Days War. Let's cut all of that. Put pressure on them. Have a meeting. Nobody's even asking for endorsement, but as I said, Israel has done it. 17 European countries have done it. We did invite the Al-Qaeda leader with $10 million bounty on his head to dinner at White House. It couldn't be worse than that, right? Let's just have Crown Prince Pahlavi at the White House for a dinner. Hear him out. You all know that I've been asking for this since January 20th, from the day Crown Prince Pahlavi himself put out a public letter congratulating President Trump on his inauguration and then saying, hey, can we sit down and talk? 12 months later, we're just saying the same thing, but the question is who's listening? So I hope that answered your question, Jeff. Okay. Hey, Dan Dreyer on Rumble. So good to see you. It's been a while. Any update on the large explosion that happened in Iran today, Armel Dairy Factory? There are no updates. I know they had to evacuate certain areas, surrounding areas, including I think it's an emergency room, not a hospital. But my best guess, educated guess, I think this was by the regime. Right now, they're desperate enough to try to scare people into, there is a war, they need to go home. So I think the explosion was by the regime. However, I don't have the proof. This is just my, educated guess. And the regime not releasing information makes it even more interesting. But I do know, unfortunately, there were, as of right now, they haven't reported any death, but there have been reported of injuries in the fire. And before I come on air, the fire wasn't put out yet. Okay, now let's head over to Facebook. Oh, Mohammed has an idea. If the regime fall, the country will fall in the hands of their enemies. They better wise up. Mohammed, sir, you cannot fall into your enemy's hands where you're already in your enemy's hands. I understand that you personally think Islamic regimes are a good thing, but we Iranians don't. Done it for 47 years, we're done. We are, actually, this is wising up. When you stand up, you say death to Khamenei, death to Sharia, death to Islamic Republic, we're done with all of it. But I appreciate your concern for my people. Why all, John is saying, why all the trolls from Africa? Well, we got plenty Islamic areas there. Hi, Annie. You're doing a great job. Thank you so much for your Iran information. Free Iran. The Shah's son wants him to stand trial for a crime against humanity. Photo JRV on YouTube. Thank you so much. You're very kind. Yes, that is what Crown Prince Pahlavi wants for Khamenei. Iranians are kind of torn between, some do want him to stand trial, some would like to be the trial. So that is another thing of, let Iranians decide on what should happen to Khamenei, right? And the rest of his regime and goons. But we got to go take our second ad break, guys. Don't go anywhere. I will continue on the comment sections when we come back from our second ad break. Well, hello everybody, it's Annie Cyrus Welcome to my art studio where all the magic happens. This is the station for painting, and that is the station for all the resin art I do. If you want to check out my art, all you gotta do is go to lutfstudio.com. But I'm sure, or at least I hope, I'll see you at lutfstudio.com. Wow, I think I missed that ad. It is upbeat. Yes, head over to lutfstudio.com. That is where you can purchase all my handmade these hands art pieces. I know we're a little low on inventory, but there's still plenty of items for you guys to pick up and support what I do, which I kind of needed more than ever. It's been 10 days of just reporting. So lutfstudio.com, and you can use promo code MISSION to get an extra 10% off. Stevie V8M on YouTube says, Iran become free, but please, Trump, stay out, but don't stop help from Israel. Trump has Greenland and 23 other Western... I did not see that coming. Okay, where was I? Okay, Western Hemisphere nations to take control of by his mouth, so stay away. I have promised to be as nice as possible today about Trump and his actions, so I'm just gonna use some of my reaction. Yes, as I said, Israel is already helping the people of Iran, and we are forever grateful for that. But the rest of the countries, please just stay out of the way. As I said, if you want to genuinely, truly, if you care for the people of Iran, not Iran's oil or mineral or opium or gold or silver or saffron or pistachio or the land itself or the mullahs, if you truly care about the people of Iran, your best action would be cut off the regime altogether and back up Prince Pahlavi. You do anything outside of those options, it is proven that you do not care for the people. That was a good one. Thank you. John is asking if Goldie Ghamari reliable. She is reliable. She is not as detail-oriented as I am. However, she is reliable. She might get a little excited at times. She might be too excited at times. However, she does not lie. She might, blossom a little bit, like victory is tomorrow, but she is reliable. She does tell the truth. She is informed. She knows what she's talking about. Why was Goldie ousted from the party? Hassan Mirza is asking. If I recall correctly, she stood on the floor of Canadian Parliament and she flat out said we need to get rid of Islam and all the Muslims or our country is going to become, Islamic Republic of Canada. And that's what got her ousted. She did what I did, but nobody could fire me from my job. They just took me off platforms. Hello, lovely lady. Hello. It takes a special kind of evil to hold down a people as amazing as Iranians. Viva Iran. May the freedom come now. Amen, amen, and amen. Yes. Thanks for the shout out, Annie. Of course. I still use AC41 as my promo code to support you. Oh, thank you for reminding me. I forgot we still have that promo code. That was from Aki News time. I appreciate your support very much. Stevie said that those that don't... Okay, let me try that again. Those that don't want world dictatorship out of Mar-a-Lago, Moscow, or Beijing need Iran to be free with Israel and India. I like the way you phrase that. Let me dig into that for a minute. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. John says, no one compares to you, Inos. I appreciate that. Let me dig into what Stevie just said. I read it again. Those that don't want world dictatorship out of Mar-a-Lago, Moscow, or Beijing need Iran to be free with Israel and India. Someone asked today on my Substack release of History of Uprising and Fight of Iranian People Against the Regime, saying one would wonder why they haven't succeeded, meaning why Iranian people haven't succeeded to overthrow the regime. This is why. Every single country on earth knows if Iran and Iranians are freed, a lot of them are not going to be able to make the money they make today. A lot of them won't have the power they have today. Why do you think 1979 even happened? And I know I said I'm going to be nice today, but let's be honest. If you go read that, we're going to go over that Substack on Brown House Live tonight. If you read it, you'll see the bloodiest, I repeat, the bloodiest month of uprising of Iranian people happened under Trump administration. Somebody posted something of, I think it was a meme of Trump just looking up, being Trump, and the text said, people of Iran, or dear Iranians, I'm not Obama. I was like, hi, really? So I replied by saying, let me remind you of the 2018 and 2019 uprising. They came back with, Trump was all over Twitter supporting them. My response was like, oh, wait, we're talking about tweets. I thought we were talking real action. You see, this isn't me being against anybody. I love history, people. Those of you, again, let me plug my Substack. Those of you who are subscribed to my Substack and read my Substack know how much I love history. Most of my writings are historic. I go dig so years before my grandma was born, and I search it and I read it and I compare it and I find loopholes in it. I love history. Because of history, I'm sitting here. Because of history, America exists, right? That being said, I work based on history. History has proven that from 79 until today, based on the article I wrote, I released this morning, no American president has ever helped Iranian people, regardless of their name, their agenda, their party. They haven't, as I said, 79 until today. This is the 12th uprising in last 47 years. 12 dozen uprisings during many different presidents, different parties, different face and names. 2 of them, one named the bloodiest month, was under Trump. So forgive me if I say I won't post a meme of Trump got Iranians back. Did he tweet a lot? Does he say a lot? Yes. But words can go so far when you are the president of the United States of America. Expectations are very different. Okay. Thank you, CB, for giving me that, opening so I could talk about that. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, free Iran. Let me be more specific. Free Iran under someone like Pahlavi with free people is a great threat to the elites. It is. And this is exactly why for 47 years I closed my Substack by saying, pray for Iranian people, though they are the most abandoned freedom fighters in the world. Name another country who has tried for 47 years to free themselves, who barely get a hashtag or a rally and a protest at American University, or aid and UN behind them. Iranian people have been the most abandoned freedom fighters in the last 47 years, but they have not given up. And they're not going to give up. But they all know why this is happening. This is why this time they have picked their leaders and they're only following that leader. And that leader comes out politely and respectfully says, No military action is needed from America. He put out a letter thanking President Trump for his support for Iranian people, saying, "Hi, why don't we sit down?" That letter also has gone unacknowledged, unnoticed, doesn't exist. I have said this offer because I was offered for 2 weeks, but at this point, President Trump has no choice but to shake Pahlavi's hands. And if he doesn't, then we all know where we're standing. And by we, I mean people who are not too busy praising earthly matters. People who have followed the truth, studied the truth, and watched the events taking place. A lot is going on, a lot is at stake, but we'll see. And could victory be here tomorrow, a year from today, 10 years from today? I don't know. None of us do. But I do know some people can help expedite it. Hey, Bossman, good to see you. I will most certainly let you, well, I need to know what the painting is before I even accept, because I do a certain style of painting. I don't do painting with brush and faces. So send me a message or email, tell me what is it about. And then we'll go from there. What is Goldie's full name so I can find the report on what she did? Lori, Goldie is her first name. Last name is Gamari. That's Ghamari. There you go. Right on any tweets or nothing. It's action that matters. Exactly. And that's the way it is. Would you move back to Iran? They could use a good queen, Dan Dreyer asked. Lord willing, if Iran is freed, and the Iranian people are freed, I have said this during the 12 Days War as well, I will most certainly head to Iran because I need to help in whatever way I can to rebuild Iran, the transitional government. However, will I move back to Iran? No. Number one, remember I have spent most of my life in America, and America is home. And as much as that day I have pictured what will happen to me in my head when that day comes, I don't know. I can't even picture it, not because I'm not hopeful, because I don't know how to feel that moment. I will be very glad for my homeland. I will be so grateful to Lord for setting my people free. But Iran free doesn't mean we don't have much work to do in America. And I owe way too much to America and Americans to abandon them just because now my homeland is free. So yes, I will head over to help with the rebuild, but America will always be home. Now, if one day we save America and Iran is still free, I might just, go back and forth. But until then, no, I'll stick around. America is gonna be the place. We got work to do here. I know I'm focusing on reporting on Iran, but and thank you, but I could never be a queen. I couldn't. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Let me go into getting ahead of myself for a minute. But I was thinking about that because Prince Pahlavi is not going for monarch, he has made that very clear. But if people of Iran choose to go back to monarch of Pahlavi, after King Pahlavi, we will have Queen Pahlavi because he has 3 daughters. 3 daughters, no son. So Iran will go back to having a queen at some point, and it's going to be the oldest who just married a Jewish American businessman. So it does look beautiful to have history repeat itself, the alliance of Persians and Jews. But as I said, I'm just getting ahead of myself. Okay, guys, we're going to take our very last ad break, and when we come back, I will check on comments, but I need to conclude on the updates and some details. Be right back.
You're watching Worldview 2, built on the 35 years of Worldview books, documentaries, research, high-profile interviews, and the radio and television broadcasts of Brannon House.
Okay, welcome back to Live Up to Freedom. I am so grateful that you're still here, if you are still here, on the first day back on air on January 5th, 2026. It is so good to be back. Let's do this. Let's dive into a little bit of details of where the uprising is, where it's going. And as I do that, we're just going to roll a bunch of the videos just to give you the sense of the atmosphere and what's happening, just get you that, but it won't have audio, so you don't have to worry about the Farsi things going on. But here's where we are as I speak to you. Day 10, as I said, just started. Unfortunately, my heart breaks for 27 Iranians who've been killed by hands of IRGC. That's 27. The youngest is 15 years old. 2 others 17 years old as well. Over 400 have been reported to be arrested. That is over 400 people have been arrested. More than 24 of them are at unknown location, meaning nobody knows where they were taken. Majority of those taken to unknown locations are activists, either civil rights activists, women rights activists, just rights activists. They are mainly at unknown location. About 120 women last night were moved to solitary confinement in Hamadan, one of the provinces. That is always a bad news for those of you who may not. When a prisoner is moved to solitary confinement, could be next morning they're going to kill him, execute him. But when women are moved, could mean use your imagination to get them to confess or false confess and, go from there. That's that report. We also have confirmation 3 Basij soldiers, meaning morality police or security forces, have also been killed. One of the biggest differences this time, right? People are fighting back genuinely. They're setting police officers and their bikes on fire. They're setting flags on fire and replacing the Islamic flags with Pahlavi flags on major highways. They're also burning down certain buildings, seminaries, Islamic seminaries. A police station was burned down by people. What else? There are a few other locations related to either IRGC, morality police, or Islamic centers have been burned down by people. One of the bigger buildings, it was reported that they used 9 Molotov cocktails to burn it down, but they managed. I think I could say at this point, it is tragic that our kids are dying. Don't get me wrong. However, when you do a side-by-side comparison, the regime is being way more careful than they ever been before. The number of arrestees, the number of those killed, the number of those injured, comparison to the last 11 uprisings, it's way smaller. The fact that Basijis are being killed is a very different story. We haven't had that. We have had where they captured a Basiji, even disarmed him, but then they let him go. This time they're killing him. Flag burning, Islamic flag removal or burning is also a new thing. That hasn't happened. They did tear them down, but they never burned them down. They are burning banners with Qasem Soleimani face on it, with Khamenei face on it, with Khomeini's face on it. This is why I called it, I said, on that day, I said, this uprising has gone into a full revolution. Because when I look at it, the actions are different. This isn't just people fed up, either over Mahsa Amini's death or over election fraud. This is the combination of 47 years building up into this momentum of we're done. The chants also say this is the last battle. That's part of the chants of this is the last battle. And again, based on coordination, when you watch the videos, the coordination. The tools they're using, even, there's a video, we played it just now, a protester basically adjusted a fire extinguisher to become a fire thrower, you know. So again, I repeat, they're doing fantastic on their own. They are. Yes, as I said, many are being arrested, many are being taken to unknown locations, many have died already, as young as 15 years old. I get it. And trust me, off air and off Facebook and off Substack, I have done my crying. But don't butt in, don't get involved, and make it all for nothing. Right now, even though mainstream media, alternative conservative media are not touching what's happening in Iran, I'll say it. Alternative conservative Christian media has not touched this. The only thing they touch, people are upset with the crash of Rio, they're on the streets. Okay. And of course, then Venezuela happens, and as always, take the attention away from Iran. That has been a routine for so long. 2009, same thing. In midst of first time ever American media picking up on what's happening in Iran during Green Movement, suddenly Michael Jackson died. And then apparently death of Michael Jackson was way more important to Americans than Iranians being killed on the streets, right? Same thing in 2018, same thing in 2019, same thing in 2021, same thing in 2022, and now the same thing. That's fine. There's plenty of us who are still covering it. But any government who decide to get involved and change this path into anything except it should be, I will be the first one to be out here, like it or not, to put it all on the table. These people they're tired, not just of their own tyrannical regime. They're tired of other countries' involvement in helping the regime stay in power. So people of Iran are doing fantastic. They got a plan, they got help, plenty of help, the type of help they need, they got that. All they need now is for the governments of other countries to support them by cutting off the regime, putting all sort of pressure on them, and supporting their choice. With other than governments, people of the world, all we can do for them right now is to be their voice while we pray for them. That's all there is to it. I'll call it what they call it. It's the last battle. They're calling it their last battle, so let's help them with their plan. It is, even as an Iranian, it is not my business to tell them how to do it. I am here, I'm in America, I have somewhat of my freedoms. I don't even get to tell Iranian people on the streets of Tehran or Rasht or Hamadan or Tabriz or Ardabil or Isfahan, I don't even dare tell them how to do this. Every time I get in touch with my insiders, I'm like, guys, what do I do for you? Report this. Okay, put this out. Okay, I need information on how to patch a wound. Okay, I do what they ask me. In last 10 days, I have been dared make a suggestion because it is none of my business. I am not the one walking towards gunfires empty-handed. So I don't care who you are, how big you are, or which country you run. Stay out of these people's way. Let them do it their way. You guys did it your way, and millions suffered for 47 years, and at 20 years, and at 25 years. Not to be just biased about my own motherland. This time, let them do it themselves. If you don't, then some of us are going to have no choice but not to be nice on the show about you anymore. Okay, I got 4 minutes and 43 seconds left, so I'm going to address some of your comments before we run out of time. Kavajan, you have to tell me if that is serious or that is sarcastic, because your comment says Persians and Jews twice the guilt. I love you too, John. You know that. I appreciate you. Your analysis of Goldie Gamari is spot on. She has a big heart and is shifting carefully through the info she passes on. She nearly cried last night. Her father left Iran in the 80s for Canada. Yes, she has a very big heart, and I love the fact that she's blunt. She's not afraid of these people, but she could get a little excited at times. I'll tell you what, I've been there too. I have felt that too. Do the civilians have access to weapons? Lori is asking. They will when the time is right. Thank you, and God bless you, Annie. You're an awesome and faithful woman of God, praying for you and Iran. Thank you, Maritza. I appreciate that. Yes, Anna, if we get involved as America, they can kiss their freedom goodbye. And that's why I'm hoping we will not do that. Okay, let me make sure that platform, Aziza Misina John. Guys, hold on, I have an Iranian in Farsi comment. Amen. My fellow Iranian thanking me for my support and explanation in hopes of Pahlavi return to Iran. Amen. Amen. Yes. I know, I have a little tiny problem with this Make Iran Great Again slogan. First of all, I don't want it to be a movement. And I can't feel like the more proper term, if we are about to use it, should be either Make Iran Persia Again. That would be more proper based on, heritage. There is more than greatness to Iran, but I don't know. Anyways, okay, we have 2 minutes, guys. Listen, I will continue reporting non-stop like I have for the last 10 days, as long as reports are coming to me. I will encourage you to subscribe to my Substack. That is liveuptofreedom.substack.com. As we reset the month and the year, we do need to gain 30 paid subscribers for this month for me to be able to stay afloat. So if you have not become a paid subscriber, I invite you and ask you to please consider becoming a paid subscriber on my Substack. Some of my paid subscribers could probably vouch that it is probably worth your money. LUTFstudio.com, that is where you can support me by purchasing if you want to do just one-time support, or some of you returning customers, LUTFstudio.com. Also, I will really strongly suggest you head over to cyruswellness.com. That's cyruswellness.com. Take a look at their products. You name it, they have it. Something we use every day, essentials of life. But they're chemical-free, much better quality, a very affordable price, and you save money while staying healthy in your life. And while doing all of that, you're also supporting what I do, which I will be very grateful. CyrusWellness.com is where there's no promo code needed, nothing. Just go to Cyrus Wellness and start looking around. And if you come across a product that's, you're not sure what is about, whatever, just reach out to me. There's a button right there at the bottom that says message me. You can message me and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I have not decided. I've not talked to my producer yet, but there's a very good chance I might expand my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays to Thursdays and Fridays as well while we go through the uprising and situation in Iran. But for now, it is Monday, so I don't think we need to worry about Thursday and Friday. I want you to stay safe and stay vigilant. Keep people of Iran in your prayer at all time. Be their voice. Pray to Lord to finally set them free from this darkness, as they have fought so hard that I think every single one of them have earned the freedoms they desire. I will see you all back here tomorrow. Bye, guys.
You're watching Worldview 2, built on the 35 years of Worldview